Good evening, everyone. Today is going to be our 53rd Sutta discussion. As you can see that today's topic is going to be self-protection, the true meaning of self-protection, and how to tell if you are actually self-protected according to the Attarakkhita Sutta. This is one of the suttas from Kosala Sutta. And I think this topic is worth discussing because as you know that today's world there is a dire need to talk about protection, self-protection, especially from the health reasons. So this self-protection is more about oneself, especially how can one take care of oneself from the negativities as well as from unnecessary troubles that could arise from negative relationships and from all the other external forces. So I want to share with you that you need to stay safe these days. You need to really get protected, especially from this health situation. It's really a need. I think because of that reason, we all need to, find out what could be self-protection from a spiritual point, like especially from the Buddhist point of view. If you protect yourself by staying at home, this is pretty good. But when you keep staying at home, you might need to figure out how you're gonna stay safe, stay friendly, stay wholesome, stay harmonious with your mom, dad, if you stay with them, maybe with siblings, maybe with your partners. So it's also protection on one side, and the other side is how to stay safe from the health situation. Okay, so let's take a look at the true meaning of self-protection from the Buddhist point of view. As I told you at the beginning, this is gonna be a sutta from Kosala Sutta, wherein which we find out King Kosala intervenes and he approaches the Buddha. The sutta's name is Attarakkhita Sutta, and it's gonna be the 5th sutta. At Savatthi, I'm gonna read the English translation a little bit more at the beginning so that everyone can kind of have a sense of what I'm gonna talk. Seated to one side, King Kosala said to the Buddha, "Just now, sir, as I was in private retreat, this thought came to my mind. Who are those who protect themselves and who are those who do not protect themselves?" In Pali we call it Ida maiham bhante rahogatassa patisallīnassa evaṁ cetaso parivitakko udapādi kesannuko rakkito atta kesaṁ arakkito attati. So kesannuko rakkito atta, who protect oneself or themselves, and who do not. So, and then interestingly enough, in this bunch of suttas, we find out that Buddha just approves what the king says, and he does not teach something quite different from what the king says. So he simply approves what he said. In the same way, the king explains furthermore of what he thinks to be those who protect themselves and who do not. Let me read the Pali first so that you may have a better understanding of what they could be, as well as you understand that I'm maintaining my authenticity about reading of Pali and the teachings. Tassa maihang bhante etada hose yeko kechi kayena duccharitang charanti vachaya duccharitang charanti manasa duccharitang charanti tesang arakkito atta kinchapi te hattikayo va rakkeya asakayo va rakkeya ratakayo va rakkeya pattikayo va rakkeya atta ko තේසං අරක්ඛිතෝ අත්තා තං කිස හේතු බාහිරා හේසා රක්ඛා Nesa Rakka Ajattika. So externally they are protected and not internally. Nesa Rakka Ajattika. Tasma Tesang Arakkito Atta. So now the Pali, this Pali paragraph says why king thinks that one does not self-protect. Okay, let's take a look at the English translation of what I just read for you. Then he talked to me, to the king, those who do bad things by way of body, speech, and mind do not protect themselves. So, in simple terms, if someone executes unwholesome activities by ways of body, speech, mind, and they are the people who do not protect themselves. Even if they are protected by a company of elephants, cavalry, chariots, and infantry, I mean, these were the external, defense from the time of the Buddha. At that time, protection, external protection, meant to be something from, from elephants, from chariots, from infantry, maybe VIPP personnel, was to be defended and protected by this army and chariots, or elephants. Although they are protected from these external forces, but king thinks they are not self-protected. Even they are protected by a company of elephants, cavalry, chariots, or infantry, they still do not protect themselves. So this is the key thing. Why is that? Because such protection is exterior, not interior. That's what we said. Tankisa hetu bahira nesa rakha ajattika. So ajattika means this internal protection, self-protection doesn't exist in them. That's why they don't protect themselves. And then King talks about the self-protection one can gain. Let me read in Pali. Yechako kechikayena sucharitang charanti. Vachaya sucharitang charanti. Manasa sucharitang charanti. Tesang rakkito atta. Kinchapi te neva hattikayo rakkeyo. Na asakayo rakkeyo. Na rathakayo rakkeyo. Na pattikayo rakkeyo. Rakkeyo. Atako tesang rakkito atta. Tankisa hetu ajjatika hesa rakka. Nesaraka bahira tasma tesang rakito attati. So the meaning why some are self-protected is this reason. Those who do good things, wholesome things, activities by way of body, speech, and mind do protect themselves. Even if they are protected by a company of elephants, cavalry, chariots, or infantry, they still protect themselves. They may be protected by the external, things like, it could be anything in today's world. It could be military, it could be protection from different, technological things. But anyways, but this individual who, do good, who does good things, who speaks good words, and who thinks good thoughts, she is protected. Though such a person may not have cavalry, infantry, or elephants, have. Why is that? Because such protection is interior, not exterior. That's why they do protect themselves. Okay, so this is the main abstract of the sutta. So now what does it mean by self-protection? If someone is always doing good thoughts, doing good actions, speaking good words, and thinking good thoughts, that is a self-protection. The true self-protection is that. Before we go on, let's talk about what happened after that. And then what happened? The Buddha said, Eva metang Maharaja, Eva metang Maharaja. That's so true, great king, that's so true, said the Buddha. And he repeated the king's statement, adding, so the Buddha didn't say anything in particular, and he just endorsed and he just approved what the king said. How he approved? Kayena sangvaro sadhu, sadhu vachaya sangvaro. Manasa sangvaro sadhu, sadhu sabbatta sangvaro. Sabbatti sangvato lajji, rakitoti pauchati. Part of the verse can be found also in the Dhammapada, and Dhammapada is a combination of a lot of verses that you could see in many sutta readings, and they are not a bunch of different random sayings, and they were pretty much taken from the sutta, the main sutta readings themselves. The meaning, Kayena Sangvaro Sadhu. So Buddha recaps what the king said. Kayena Sangvaro Sadhu. Restraint of the body is good. Now, Kaya is body. Sangvara is restraint, calmness. So, if somebody can be restrained by body, it's really good. I mean, not many people can be restrained by their body. Sadhu vachaya sangvaro. Not even the body. If someone can take another step further by being restrained of one's speech, it's even better than that. Without skipping the first one. You gotta keep doing actions with. Manasa sangvaro sadhu. Restraint of mind is good. That's the hardest thing for many of the individuals. They say their mind is like a monkey, and it's like running around and from one object to the other object. But regardless of the fundamental natural nature of the mind, if someone can make one's mind restrain, making it calm, that's good. Sadhu Sambhatta Sangvaro, restrain everywhere is good. That's another good step further. Now, a lot of people can be strained by body, by speech, by mind at different times, but not all the time, not at all times. They might control themselves, they might tame themselves, but at times, negativities arise. So this is the problem. So they don't think that this is kind of a 24/7, 365 process. So we need to be restrained at all times as much as we can. Sabbatti sangto lajji, rakito di pauch. Now, this is the kind of word that we've been looking for, rakita. So when you are self-protected, this is the place. Sabbatti sangto lajji. A sincere person restrained everywhere. So if you can manage yourself to be restrained at all times by body, speech, mind, that's when you are self-protected. That's where we can say you are self-protected. Now let's take a look at a lot of people who might be watching this sutta discussion, might not sometimes reflect upon what these wholesome thoughts, actions, speech could be, right? Let me tell you. I think I've been speaking about wholesome activities from many weeks, many months. So let me reiterate what they are. In Buddhist teachings, Buddha always asks us to practice kusala, and 5 precepts was a normal entry kind of thing for everybody who wanted to follow Buddhist teachings. But it's not what someone has to end up with. A lot of people just end up with 5 precepts, Panchasila. The real practice for someone to develop one's skillful activities is kusala, which definitely leads one to nibbana, liberation. There are 10 skillful activities. We call them 10 kusala. There are 3 skillful actions, and there are 4 skillful words, and there are 3 skillful thoughts. So let's start from thoughts, because thoughts could be the closest to us, right? Because we think, right? And I think if we can take care of our thoughts, and I don't think it's a big problem to take care of your words and the actions. There are 3 wholesome or skillful thoughts. Abhijja, to take care of your thoughts from abhijja, and vyapada, we call it vyapada, to take care of your thoughts from ill will, and samadhi, to take care of your thoughts from michaditi. So what is this thing called abhijja? So abhijja means being envious. Now a lot of people have different meaning. Some might call it is greed, maybe it is unrighteous greed, but I would call it being envious. Now we know when you are envying about people, things, or what they have gotten or achieved, it could be a problem. So we would like to see what other people may have, but we don't need to develop any unrighteous feelings towards them. So we gotta just appreciate what other people have, what other people have received, have achieved so far, just to be happy what other people are with. So that's enough. I mean, not going too much into what other people have achieved. And then to have thoughts of appreciating what other people have been achieving and acquiring, receiving. Just the appreciation, not going any step further. And the second good thought is take care of your thoughts from ill will. Ill will is, destroying other beings by thinking. Some people may do that. It's really a problem. Whenever you kind of come up with a random disturbing thought that I wanna think that this has to happen, especially something related to ill will, you just need to let it go. You just need to not let it grow inside of you. You just need to think this is not good. This is unwholesome. I don't wanna develop it. I don't wanna give any energy towards that. So you're gonna give a really kind of a estimate about it from your understanding about unwholesome thought. This is really a bad thought. I don't want to encourage. I don't want to let it grow inside. I want to let it. I do want to let it go from myself. That's the second thought. So not having any thoughts of destroying any being by ways of any means. Maybe social media, maybe character assassination, maybe whatever other kind of means of thoughts. The third one is michaditi, wrong view. So there are 10 views Buddha says that one has to have to get away from michaditi. So one has to trust about the kusala, one has to trust about the dana, generosity, one has to trust about the mom, dad. There are multiple 10 things about believing, so one has to have thoughts about them. So that's what we call skillful thought about 10 right or wholesome views. So those are the 3 skillful thoughts. And then there are 4 skillful words regarding the speech. Not lying, not talking behind the back, not using any hurtful words, and not being either a gossiper or an idle chatter. So you know what they are. So we should never lead our words or our speech towards those 4 unwholesome directions. So we always have to speak the truth. You always have to speak the good words. I mean, we don't need to have a double character. We're gonna appreciate people. If we want to say something about someone really good, we're gonna tell that. We don't want to, change what we say before and after. So we're gonna be a very straightforward person in terms of our speech. That's the second one. Third one is we're gonna stay truthful, and at the same time we're gonna speak the good words that are not desensitizing other people's sensibility. Like these days you might perhaps see racism, some other bad comments, how people think about others. We need to accept everybody regardless of whatever dimensions. also animals, and we need to spread loving kindness towards everybody. We don't have any conditions for treating a kind of being this way and that way. We should practice metta, loving kindness towards all. So we should use the good, friendlier, comfortable, nice, polite words all the time. Although we might get angry at some point, we gotta think about, I'm not using these unwholesome words which might be hurtful to other people. Always think about the sensitivity point when you talk to other people. If you think and talk, you are safe. But if you don't think and you just bottle up and then you just burst, I don't know what's gonna happen to you and other people. The fourth good word is don't try to be a gossiper or an idle chatter. I mean, those two are really bad. Just don't waste your time, just talk something really interesting to other people, meaningful. And also don't just waste time simply because you want to talk something, because time is precious. You never know the real importance of the time until you get sick, until you die, until you can't do anything at your will at some point in your life. So make use of your time now. Don't let it pass on to your kind of a time in the future. So that's when you understand that time is precious. You are not gonna waste it. So don't be an idle chatter as well as a gossiper. So when you are not executing the four aspects of your words, by being truthful, by not talking behind the back, by always talking words that are really polite to other people, nice, not being mean to other people, and when you are talking something really meaningful all the time, if your speech is going to be meaningful, a lot of people like to listen to you. A lot of people like you to talk. That's one of the advantages somebody can have. And then you are self-protecting by speech, before by the mind. And now I'm going to talk about how someone can self-protect by the actions. And Buddha said that we always need to make sure everybody is safe, not killing, at least not thinking about it. Also by not taking what's ungiven, always protect what others have. We don't want to steal, we don't want to rob anyone's thing. We're going to protect what they have and what we have. So everybody is really good at that point. So that's the second way of self-protecting by ways of actions. Third one is by not misbehaving. So Buddha said we need to behave well, especially from our six senses. We have this piece of eyes, piece of ears, nose, tongue, body, mind. We're gonna behave with these six senses. If you don't know what the role of your real senses are, then what's gonna happen is that the objects of the senses gonna be taking over your senses. Then your eyes are really bad. They are not really powerful, but the sights and images could be more powerful than that. If your ears are not powerful, then the object of the ears could be the sound is gonna take over your ears. In the similar way, all the other objects are gonna be taking over you. That's why we don't need objects to take over us, but we're gonna empower our senses to take over the object, so that we have pretty good management about ourselves. So that's what we understand by the last para. It's not a para, it's a stanza. Buddha is saying one has to empower one's senses so that one can self-protect oneself really good. In normal words, we know, as the king Kosala said, one can self-protect oneself by taking care of one's actions, thoughts, and the words. So that's the main meaning of this sutta. And one more thing is interesting in this sutta. Now, the sutta's name is really interesting, Attarakkhita. Now, a lot of people think about Atta is pretty bad. Atta is self. But there is two different aspects where Buddha talks about atta. Now, the main goal of the Buddhist teaching is to uh, overcome the unnecessary feeling of self. We call it anatta, not self. But until you attain that level, one has to take care of oneself in a conventional aspect. Conventionally, we need to take care of us. We need to take a shower. We need to stay safe. That's where we understand self-protection is a need, but we are not attaching to the self. We just protect the self until we attain the Nibbana. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you might not have a good time to understand the spiritual teachings as well. That's why Attarakkhita, self-protection, is such a very interesting and important aspect of our life. And in the Dhammapada as well, you see there is a certain, there's a whole certain chapter for self. We call it Attavakka. Okay, so now I think you all know what is self-protection and how to self-protect. And if you do have this self-protection already, and you can continue. If you don't have it, you just need to continue practicing calmness, being restrained in your actions, thoughts, and words. That is self-protection. Okay, so let's wrap this up, close this sutta discussion for today. I know that this time is a bad time for many people in the world, and we really want to spread loving kindness to all beings, and we will do with our sharing of this good karma. So let's put our palms together. May all the good karmas we've been accumulating so far be shared by all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us who passed away recent times. May they be happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's recite the stanzas. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Also, let's share all the good karmas with the deities, devas, brahmas, nagas, and all these non-humans. May they share in all these good karmas. May they protect the whole universe, whole world from this health situation. May the deities, brahmas, nagas, give their full power, full potential to take care of the whole beings in this universe without any due. May all the beings in the world be protected and safe by the infinite power of these non-humans, and also may all the devas, nagas, brahmas be happy and peaceful. May they also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sambe deva anumodantu samba sampatti sindhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sambe bhuta anumodantu samba sampatti sindhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkati. Finally, let's make a great wish. May all the good karmas that we've been accumulating so far help. Let's make this great wish. May all these good karmas help all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'm gonna be reciting a couple more stanzas to bless all of you, all the beings in this universe at this time. Abhivadana siddhisse niccang vaddha pachayino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samicchatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you. Have a good night.